There we go. Okay, sweet. So my name is Sharon Snyder. I'm the Vice President of Collegiate Affairs for our current National Council. I am an alum of the Ohio Northern IOTA chapter. I graduated back in 2009 with a degree in mechanical engineering, so it's been a bit. I am currently living in Tucson, Arizona, or at least for another 3 weeks I will be, where I work for Raytheon Missiles and Defense. And I'm quitting my job on Friday. Oh my gosh, like 6 days from today. So go start a new job with Northrop Grumman Space Systems in Dulles, Virginia. So I'm just going to change everything about my life all at once during a pandemic, because why not? Go big or go home. So that's a little bit about me. My husband and I have 2 cats. So Mary Beth and I were cat chatting before this. I like to run. That's basically all I do, and eat. Prior to serving as VP Collegiate Affairs, I was actually the RFD for, it used to be a mega region, West 2, was both the Arizona schools plus all of you guys, actually. So this was, I think, 3 years ago when I was, so if you have any seniors in your chapter, they may remember me. And then prior to serving as VPC, immediately before that, I was West 2 RFD, so for the Arizona schools, Wyoming and Colorado. That's just a little bit about me, so you guys know one person on council a little bit better. Mary Beth is going to introduce herself. Actually, I'll stay on through Dana to introduce herself as your RFD, and then I'm going to peace out of the call. I'm just going to mute myself, turn my video off. Mary Beth is going to keep track of anything that you guys either have questions directly for me, or things that I'm going to be equipped to answer at the end of the call. So we'll get there at that point. So I guess we'll have Mary Beth introduce herself. We'll go through Dana's presentation, and then we'll ask you guys to introduce yourselves as your chapter representatives. And we're just asking for your name and your chapter, just so everybody knows what your position is within the chapter, goals that you have for your chapter, and maybe you have things specifically that you want to accomplish in your position. And then any challenges or concerns, again, for your position or for your chapter. So I'll go ahead and turn my stuff off, and we'll start with Mary Beth and then go to Dana.
So hi, I'm Mary Beth White. I just took on the VP of Alumni Affairs role on National Council about 2 months ago, but I'm just finishing up and passing off my RFD role for the West 1 region, so the Northwest. So Berkeley, Oregon State, UW, and Boise and Reno. So I've been the RFD in that region for 4 years. So I'm passing that off now. So Sharon asked me to help her out so that she doesn't get Zoom bogged down and have to sit on a Zoom meeting all day long, and she can get some laundry done. So I said I would help out with this. I'm an alum of the Oregon State chapter, and I live in Portland, Oregon. I work for Boeing as an industrial engineer. I graduated in 2010, so I agree with Sharon. It's been a while, but at the same time doesn't feel like that long ago at times. So yeah, so any questions you guys have, I can help answer, or we'll take notes and be able to ask Sharon when she hops back on the call at the end. And then we'll pass it off to Dana to do her presentation. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Mary Beth, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're a little bit, like a little bit robotic, but I can hear you. It's just a little bit not normal sounding.
Okay, because your guys' stuff has been cutting in and out for me, but I guess it is what it is. So we'll see. Anyways, hi everyone, my name is Dana. I am your West 3 RFD. You can go to the next slide. I would have my camera on, but it's just having issues, maybe because I'm doing Zoom through the Hoova app. Anyways, like Sharon mentioned, this is our agenda for the day. So I'm going to give just a brief introduction of who I am, go over what is an RFD, what do I do, give you some of my contact information, and then we'll do chapter intros, and then it'll be mostly you guys talking about what your goals and concerns are for the year. Next slide. So I think I included this picture because my video is not working. This is a little bit about me. So my name is Yuen. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I started the UCSB colony back in winter of 2016, so technically a founder of my chapter. While I was an active, I held the positions of VP internal as well as president. I graduated in 2019 from UCSB, got a degree in mechanical engineering as well as a minor in STEM education, and then I'm currently pursuing my master's in engineering management at UCLA. So far, since I've only been an alumna for a little bit, this is my first role as an RFD. I'm originally from Los Gatos, California, if any of you guys are from the Bay Area. But currently I'm living in Torrance, kind of South Bay, Los Angeles. And some of my hobbies are hiking, camping. I've been doing a lot of baking. I hopped on the sourdough train, as well as doing crosswords. And currently I'm working as a systems engineer at Northrop Grumman. Next slide. So these are just some pictures to kind of, I guess, get an idea of more who I am, especially since this is virtual. Top left, that's just my graduating class. We took pictures at the beach. Bottom left is at an alpaca farm in Carpinteria. If you guys haven't visited, I highly recommend it. You get to get real up close with all the alpacas and it's super fun. Bottom right is fall 2018 recruitment. Well, I guess really bottom right is one of my favorite gifts, or mine. And then the top right is me on the top of Mount Fuji when I studied abroad in Japan. Next slide. So what is an RFD? Basically, I'm going to be your main point of contact between your chapter and National Council. And I want to stress your chapter because it's not, I don't want the relationship to be between me and you guys as chapter presidents. It's really anyone who's active or has questions or wants to reach out. I also assist with, helping with national standards, interpreting kind of stuff. I know that bylaws and the chapter handbook and all those documents are really overwhelming to give questions. I should be your go-to person. I'm also here to help provide guidance, not necessarily tell you what to do, but if you have an issue that comes up in your chapter, I'm very happy to discuss it with you and together find a solution. I'm also here to help you grow and develop. So I think that this is going to be a bigger component for this upcoming school year, given the difficulties with recruitment and COVID. But we're going to figure that all out together. I'm sure a lot of you have the same questions. And then that big list is just a general, you can contact me about any of the following things. I'm open to anything that you want to talk to me about. If you don't want to talk about certain things, that's cool. But I want to help foster this relationship so that if you guys have a question, I'm the first person that you come to and we can figure things out from there. Next slide. So what do? I guess we kind of touched on this. Ideally, we would have regular check-ins, or I would have regular check-ins with all of you guys. And any other year, since I'm based in LA and it's close enough to all the chapters, I would love to come see you guys in person, but that's not possible. So instead, probably over Zoom or Skype, whatever you guys want to do. I also have monthly check-ins with Sharon, so that I have the regular check-ins with you guys, and then I kind of bring that back to Sharon so she knows what's going on with all the chapters. I also email you reminders. Hopefully not that many emails if you guys respond to my original email. And then also just generally responding to questions via email, basic text, messenger pigeon, however you want to contact me, from any active, not just you guys. And that's a list of the other chapters in our region. So UCLA, UCSD, UC Irvine, Cal Poly Pomona, and UCSB. Next slide. Oops. So this is my contact information. Best way to reach me is probably at west3rfd@5singerroad.org. If you guys haven't received an email from me, I sent an intro email a week or two ago. Let me know. You can also email your Greek letter designation rfd@5singerroad.org, and it will get to me through magic. My Instagram handle is at my name if you want to follow me, I guess. I also included my phone number here if you want to text me. Text or email is the best way. if you also want to add me on Facebook, I am pretty responsive to Facebook Messenger. And then I also included my pager number here. So due to my job, I don't have regular access to my phone during the day. So if it's something really urgent, I would text or email me and then also page me so that I can go respond to whatever's going on with your chapter. But otherwise, for anything else, just give me 24 hours and I'll respond to you with something, even if it's just, hey, I need more time. And then if I don't, reach out to me again. Don't worry about bothering me, it's totally fine. Next slide. So that was about me. Quickly before we go into the more discussion-based portion of this, I'd like to go around the virtual room and do name and pronouns as well as chapter, I guess position. I think that you guys are all presidents. And then a lemon and lemonade about your summer. So this is an activity I like to do, lemon and lemonade for small meetings and intros. It really just means like one good thing and one not so good thing about your summer so far. Like my lemon would be that I guess right now it's really hot in SoCal. I heard that it's been in the upper hundreds in the Bay Area, but I just don't like that it's hot, so that's my lemon. And my lemonade is that I got to learn a lot of new hobbies during quarantine, like baking, and I've gone on cool hikes. So that's been cool. So let's start with Anjali. Am I saying that right?
It's Anjali. Yeah.
Anjali, thank you.
My name's Anjali. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm the president for the UC San Diego chapter, Chi chapter. My lemon about my summer is that I decided to start trying to learn how to play the harmonica, which has been fun. And then, wait, a lemon is bad, right? I guess lemon is bad. And then lemonade. I guess like something not so good is I'm taking organic chemistry for summer session, so that's been a sad thing about the summer.
Cool. Let's go to Madeline or Madeline.
Madeline. So yes, I'm Madeline, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm from the UCLA New chapter, and I'm the president. And my lemon is that I'm studying for the MCAT. So I've been doing like 8 hours a day for the last like 8 weeks. It's been horrible. But my lemonade is I made my cat a couch. She's actually right here sitting in it. But I just think that's really fun. And yeah, I have to like bribe her to sit in there like with catnip, but it's working. So yeah, that would be my lemonade.
Cool. That's very awesome. I don't have a cat, but you guys all seem like you have fun with yours. So let's finish up with Jen.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am from the UCSB chapter Alpha Xi. Also, Dana was president when I was initiated, so I'm super stoked that she's our like new regional person. My lemonade, I have so many lemonades. I'm working as a pharmacy tech right now, and I'm like almost done, about to get my license for my pharmacy tech. And then I just finished my EMT course, so I'm taking my written test in like 2 weeks. So I'm about to get my EMT certification as well. And then I'm also working at Chick-fil-A, so I'm like making a lot of bank between like my 2 jobs. And then my lemon would be that I basically don't really have free time for anything else. But other than that, it's been a really fun summer.
Cool. That's awesome. I just like to include that because it gives everyone to say just a little thing about them without, being too in depth or put anyone on the spot too much. So let's go to the next slide. I think this is going to be the bulk of our conversation. I don't know, before we move on to this, Sharon or Mary Beth, did you have anything that you wanted to go over before we talk about goals and concerns?
No. Sharon?
Okay, cool.
I'll just hop back in at the end. Mary Beth is going to take notes on stuff. I will leave this slide up, and if you guys want it gone, just tell Mary Beth, and I'll come back and just switch everything back over to video. But I'll leave this up for now.
Is this the last slide anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good. So this is going to be the bulk of our conversation. We can go for like as long or I guess as short as you guys want. So I just want to go over goals and concerns for the upcoming year. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm assuming that a lot of your concerns are probably going to have to do with COVID and recruitment. But I also want to use this time to maybe share best practices if you guys have any, and then also talk about, I think now, since everything's virtual, it could be a good time to try out more regional cross collaboration. But we can talk about those things later. Those are like the ideas that I have. Mostly I want to hear your guys' thoughts, so we can circle back to Anjali. And if you want to go over what are some of your goals and concerns for the upcoming year, yeah, and I'll be taking notes during, so if you're typing, that's what that is.
I think some goals we have in general is I think we were able to maintain a lot of like fun activities in the spring quarter for us, and so I want to keep having as many. I just want to have more people involved. I think we had a lot of like commitment from our cabinet leadership to like planning virtual events, but a lot of people were really overwhelmed with school, so it wasn't as high of participation as I would have liked. I'm also like I have some goals for diversity and inclusion that we're hoping to implement with fall, even though like we're limited with our virtual events. But I'm excited to see what we're able to accomplish with like a lot more implicit bias training and like presentations in general with the sorority. I'm also hoping to figure out a way that I can do our like fall elections virtually, because it's going to be a really long meeting and there's a lot of Zoom fatigue. So I'm trying to think of like alternative ways to go about like traditional events that happen as like our cabinet term ends, while still being able to accommodate for people's specific situations.
Okay, cool. So you're figuring out how to do virtual events and get more people involved, focusing more on diversity and inclusion, and then doing fall elections. On the topic of diversity and inclusion, if you guys weren't on the original call, I would highly encourage going back to look at the video sessions for the Reach Out and Touch sessions that I think it was Mary led earlier in conference. I thought they were really great.
Mary and then the Howard chapter.
Yes, thank you.
And then there was,
let's go, Madeline.
I don't know
what are your goals? Oh, go ahead.
If there was also a session on being a LGBTQIA plus ally as well, that was really good. So if you guys missed that one, that's another good one to be able to chapters, and they're working on a way to get all the recordings on an unlisted YouTube, so you'll be able to show them during chapter if you wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one, but I think Gabby has started posting the link, so you can start checking them out. Yeah, let's go, Madeline. What are your goals or concerns for the upcoming year?
Okay, so my goals for the upcoming year, and actually this is my goal last quarter too, but obviously everything got a little bit like jumbled. And I have emailed Mary Beth about this already, is just like figuring out our situation with our alumni association. And apparently we have one, but the girl who's in charge was not aware that we had one. So it's just been kind of confusing. So that's my goal. And then also, Anjali, I totally feel for you with like the elections thing. That's another goal. And just like, I'm really worried that we don't have enough people who want to like run for our exec positions. So just kind of like trying to sort that out like as the quarter goes. Yeah, I don't know. We had similarly like pretty good participation, but it was kind of like a lot of people participated in different things, but none of our individual events got like a lot of participation like within one thing. So kind of trying to get people to like stay social with each other is also another goal. But yeah, I think things will hopefully be better in the fall, just because typically people are more active in the fall than the spring anyway. So. I don't know, is there another question I need to ask? Like, am I supposed to talk about the best sharing or sharing best practices? Sorry. So we can talk about that later. We'll start with goals and concerns and we can move on, wherever the conversation goes. So I think it cut out, but I'm assuming you said alumni affairs. Is that what your goal was, improving that? And then your concern is about elections?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. I think there's a lot of the same things for other chapters. But thanks. So John, what are some of your goals and or concerns for the upcoming year?
That's my goal and like kind of a concern is trying to have more chapter participation in events and stuff, because like for spring quarter, because everything happened so fast, we kind of were basically like, we didn't have any real like sorority events, and then we didn't have anything like super formal that we all did together as a chapter, except for like end of the year banquet. I just still had like a Zoom meeting and like a presentation and stuff for awards. But other than that, we had like a bunch of unofficial like paint nights or yoga nights or game nights and stuff like that, and like literally like less than 5 people showed up to every event. So like I'm really concerned about chapter participation. What I'm hoping to do for fall quarter is, I guess like I talked to all of my directors and also VPs and stuff, and we've been having meetings over the summer to try to figure out like what each director and what each VP can do like with their position virtually. So we do have like events that we planned out so far, and also like coordinated with other chapters in Panhellenic to hopefully like try to interact with more than just our chapter. Basically my fall goal is to have more structure and to have more participation. And then also for like recruitment and stuff, we don't have that many people willing to be bigs because it's going to be virtual, and like I guess they're afraid they're not going to be able to like know the P&Ms very well. So I guess we're just hoping to have a pretty big like recruiting class and like get a good number of girls to be able to pick up to do that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like you guys have a lot of the same concerns. Just out of curiosity, can you guys let me know, are your schools like virtual or in person? I don't think they're in person. Or doing kind of hybrid approach?
For UCSD, so far all they've said is that fall is a hybrid, but most of the classes are going to be online, and except for a few, which include like some lab courses. But we've already decided for our events that with Fire Row that everything's taking place online for fall, but we haven't made any decisions about winter and spring quarter.
Okay, that makes sense. What about UCLA and UCSB?
Sorry, my Zoom freaked out. But yeah, pretty much the same thing. They're like saying it's hybrid, but I'm pretty sure everything's online. And like we've also decided to just do everything virtually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. I'm pretty sure Yang just sent an email yesterday saying, it was supposed to be like classes less than 50 were going to be in person, but I didn't really read the email that carefully. I'm pretty sure it said like less than 5% of classes were going to be held in person, and like same thing is we were planning on being completely virtual for recruitment anyways.
Okay, that makes sense. I assumed it was going to be the same across all the UCs, which makes, our section a little bit easier. Cool. So it sounds like a lot of your concerns are the same mostly. So I guess let's talk about recruitment maybe, and sharing your guys' ideas on that, because I think they're all going to be similar. I know that all the chapters are kind of different sizes, but can you guys share how you're thinking of doing that to maybe, help out each other with some of the, problems that you're all facing?
if you know,
Um,
I guess.
For UCSD, we are in a, I think you guys might be too, but we are an associate chapter for Panhellenic, so we're still attending Panhellenic recruitment meetings throughout the summer and also Panhellenic meetings to vote in like standing rules for recruitment. And so we're planning our shorter but a couple more like recruitment nights than usual throughout the time frame that formal is happening, but staggered at different times so we can like increase turnout from people who are in different time zones, and then also try and make it so there's like minimal overlap with formal recruitment, just so it's easier for like Zoom fatigue and stuff. And then we're trying to make what else? We're trying to have like a list of our members who are international, so we can have those people as like if we need to get more information, like get to know a certain PNM better if they're not able to attend like a lot of recruitment nights, we can like have those specific actives reach out to those PNMs just so we can like be as well informed when we're having our bid meeting, because I think that's what a lot of people were concerned about, of like having a good connection with the PNM without getting to know them in person. What else? I think that's like we made our we're trying to make like an updated solid major list and like a recruitment sign. We're like doing a registration form, which we've never done before. We usually have our recruitment that's based off of just like you can show up whenever, but we're trying to do a registration form so we can organize breakout rooms ahead of time. So it's a little bit more planned out, and that we're not like too stressed out about having someone random show up without having preparation for that. I think those are like the main things. We also have a couple of our chapter members who are Rho Gammas, so we still have a couple of people participating in formal recruitment, and so it's I think we're just trying to be as involved with like the Panhellenic side, so we can get as much of our marketing, like as much marketing done with Panhellenic as well, just so we're not like as like a last resort, or like we're still able to get as much of our voice out there with marketing for Panhellenic in general. That's it though.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of events are you guys doing since it's all over Zoom? This is me just being curious, I guess.
We're mostly doing like, we're still gonna do presentations like for like our philanthropy night or philanthropy event and stuff. And so we want to still have like some shorter presentations, but then still do like bump group similar activities where we're able to like move the actives from each bump group, which is like going to be really difficult for RVP recruitment, but we're trying to work out the technical logistics. And then we also like made we're making like a more specific document for listing like questions to ask during breakout rooms, because we had like a surplus of new members also this year, like in 2019 to 2020 school year. So a lot of them haven't gone through like a recruitment process from the active side. So we've also, and because we're virtual, you don't have to like, you can have like a document up and like look at questions if you need to, if you like forget and you have like a brain fart while you're talking to some PNM. So we're trying to like make a more detailed list of questions that you can ask that are like helpful, like to get to know them without like just getting to know like, oh, what's your favorite TV show, but like questions that we can make the time most informative. And then we also made a FAQ doc for our Rho Gammas to try and get PNMs to know like more about what FIRO is too. But the activities are going to be pretty similar just in terms of like getting to know each other, and then every event that we have, the longer amount of time blocks you have talking to the PNM, so you get to have like a deeper conversation as the days go on in the recruitment cycle.
Okay, so they're going to be more like conversation based instead of activity based, which makes sense. Is it the same for UCLA and UCSD?
Yeah, I actually have a question. How like involved is
Yeah.
your recruitment cycle with like panhells? Like in terms of like, do PNMs like go to both, or like how does that work for you guys?
For us, we do have like our current VP recruitment was like the first person to get a bid through formal recruitment and from FIRO. So we've had like progressively, we've had a lot more involvement with Panhellenic exec too. And so we're considered an excused absence for formal recruitment. So even though there's like a slight time overlap with like some of the events, we're able to make sure that PNMs can know that they have FIRO as an option if they're a STEM major. But then also we have like 5 row gammas, so I'm excited because it's going to be, I'm hoping, a little bit easier to be like more informed for the row gamma side of it. So hopefully we can like still be heard during that process. But.
Okay, that's cool. Because like for us, it's like completely separate. Like there's, you can go to both, but like it's 2 different things. And so like, for example, like you would have to like pay to register for Panhandle recruitment, but for us, it's like completely different. I don't know. Is that kind of like yours as well?
Yeah, we don't have any
Okay.
payment requirement. Yeah, so usually, but this year Panhellenics not doing a payment, so that's going to be
Yeah.
different. But yeah, that's the same
Yeah.
situation for us.
Okay, I just asked because I know some like chapters, like they're part of the first few rounds of formal recruitment, so I didn't know if it was like that or just like being more involved in like informing. Yeah.
We want to,
Cool,
but
good to
we're
know.
not there yet.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like our recruitment is going to be very similar. Like obviously we don't have. Oh. Wait.
Go.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't tell. My internet's bad, so sometimes it sounds like people are like talking at the same time, but I think it's just like the delay. But anyway, it sounds like it's going to be really similar. We're going to do mostly like conversation based, and we're like also trying to figure out like for international students or just people in different time zones, like how to work on like timing for them, I guess. But typically we do like 3 rounds, and the PNMs have to go to 2 of them to be eligible for like the 4th and 5th round. And so we're probably going to do like 4 rounds and still keep the like requirement to 2 events, but then like there'll just be more options. And we're also thinking about like for actives, because this is another issue we're having, is like making things like mandatory for actives feels kind of weird, like with things going on. So we were considering like having the actives like have a lower attendance requirement, which also might help, because like it just seems like it would be really overwhelming for a PNM to be in a Zoom with like 50 people and they're like one of like, I don't know, however many PNMs, but yeah. But yeah, and then just using breakout rooms and like, I don't know, hoping things go smoothly. And like we're still kind of working out like the technical details. And also I know UCLA was supposed to like figure out a program that wasn't Zoom to do recruitment, but I have not heard any more information on that. So I don't know if that's happening or if we're all just going to be using Zoom. But yeah, that's where we're at.
That makes a lot of sense. This thought just came to me, if it, seems dumb, that's totally fine. But since everything is virtual, and, usually it's hard to share recruitment tips between chapters, do you guys think it would be helpful to you to like maybe have your recruitment shares or, some other active attend another chapter's recruitment night? One of your recruitment events, like someone from UCLA could attend one night of UCSD so you can see how they run it and maybe bring back some good ideas. Or alternately, kind of in the same train of thought, you guys mentioned having a lot less participation in your online events. So maybe you guys could host a joint, all UCs. You could even include UC Berkeley because it's virtual, it doesn't matter where they are, and have like a broader UC trivia night. So you might only get like a handful of people from your chapter, but overall you'd have a bigger group of people to participate. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but
I like the idea of that for a trivia night, but I think trying to do that for recruitment might just get really hectic, especially like with this being the first time we're all doing this. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just think it'd be hard to have like an additional person and like you put them in a breakout room or just like,
yeah, it might be hard.
Yeah.
I'll throw out though that you guys, so you guys won't be starting until later because you're quarter schools and you don't start as early. So the great thing is pretty much all the other chapters except for Oregon State and Washington are gonna go through this before you guys start. So maybe reaching out to some of the other regions, like say the West 2 regions, so the Arizona schools, Boulder and Wyoming, because they will have gone through it and gone through some of their lessons learned. So they may be able to give you some ideas as well. So, and I can speak for Berkeley kind of. I mean, they're very open to having socials with other people. I can say that as their chapter president's always like, we want to see other people, but we're so far away. So I'm sure they'd be happy to hang out with you guys virtually.
Yeah, that's a good point, Marita. Maybe instead of sitting on each other's, like, if it would be helpful to at least maybe we could bring in the UC Berkeley chapter president, since I assume it's kind of the same within all the UCs, but they'll have gone through it sooner, so you can learn what worked and what didn't for them, and then have use their information for your guys' recruitments.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say other West ones too. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, Reno, Boise, and Berkeley are all semesters, so they'll all have started before you guys as well. So yeah, I definitely think that some kind of collaboration on best practices and learning from each other is a great idea. Because this is a whole weird new world of how do you have a deep conversation over Zoom and really feel like you're getting to know someone, which yeah, you have my deepest sympathy in that, because that's a huge challenge. And for the incoming students too. I mean, how awkward to feel like you want to join a group, but you're only going to meet people on Zoom. That's not easy.
No, it's like ultimate online dating, but harder. But yeah,
in a group setting, which is even more weird in some ways.
Yeah. I guess those are most of my thoughts. I guess we went on to this slide. Do you guys have anything else that you want to discuss? I know that you also have your President's Roundtable later. Okay, I'll take silence as no for now. I'm sure things will come up out of that, or we can always discuss things in our one-on-ones. So I think, it's been almost 45 minutes. I'm fine with cutting it short. I think some of the other ones also were short, which is totally fine. But before we go, I just wanted to ask, I think it'd be good to have a group chat with you guys, just so, sometimes I'm emailing you, but you might not check your email often. And if there's announcements, it's easier to get a hold of you over group chat. Or if you guys have questions for each other, you can ask that there. So do you guys have a preference on, or I guess, do you want to have a group chat, first of all? And then if so, what platform works best for you guys? We can do GroupMe or WhatsApp. I prefer not to do a group text since I have an Android and some people dislike green text. Basic Messenger, I like Basic Messenger. Is anyone opposed? Let me see. Madeline or Jen?
I've been with Facebook Messenger or what's called GroupMe.
Yeah, same.
Okay, then I'll set up a Facebook Messenger group because GroupMe has been glitchy for me sometimes. So I'll go ahead and set that up. I'll add you guys on Facebook if I can't find you for whatever reason. Or let me just add you right now. So we, because you're right here. I can't find you, then we can figure it out here. And then, oops, Madeline is, I assume this is you in the UCLA rideshare group. Oh, wait, did you go to Branham?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. You went to Lee,
What?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you know?
I definitely found you on Instagram, and then you were private, so I stalked you on Facebook, like immediately after finding out, because your phone number was a 408, so I was like, okay.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
did you go to Dartmouth?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going based off of like our mutual friends. That's so funny. Okay, small world. Very
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. That's not to say we're even marching band, because I recognize most of those things are marching band names, but probably not. Okay.
My
So
brother
how did
was,
you,
though, so.
and then, very cool. Sorry for everyone else. I'm not sure. So how did you, I have done, since we're in the same chapter, and Anjali, and then I'll find Samantha is the chapter president for UCI. She couldn't make it for whatever reason. So hopefully you guys will get to meet her at the President's Roundtable. But other than that, I'll set up this group. We'll get that going. If you guys have any other questions, you can reach out there. I'll also email out these slides in case you want to introduce me at your chapter meeting. And then I'll also be setting up our first one-on-ones or check-ins, so be on the lookout. I'll probably, it'll all just be in one email. So yeah, does that sound good? Does anyone have any closing thoughts before we end this, I guess, early? Are we good to go, Mary Beth? I think Sharon said she was going to hop on at the end, but I don't know.
Yeah, Sharon's back on.
Yeah, I'm back now. The only
Okay.
thing I have is just kind of like a, oh my gosh, I can't my toes, we're good, is just the survey feedback form for the conference stuff. So if there are any questions, those obviously take precedent over that. But if we're all done with stuff, then I can run through the feedback form. Is anybody using the Whova app on like their laptop, or is everybody using the mobile version? If you're not using the mobile version, let me know, and we can just go through that. If everybody's mobile, okay, then we'll do this. So when you guys log into the app on the home screen, if you scroll down, there's an additional resources section. I know this is like the jankiest screen share ever. Click on surveys from that, and then the only thing that pops up from that is session feedback. And then if you click on that, you get this big long list of, like everything. So just scroll down to today, to the 15th, and find the RFD session, and just go ahead and click on that. It's a very similar format for those of you who prefer to use the desktop option, only it's under the resources menu. You'll click on surveys, and then session feedback is the only thing available there. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for a second. And that's literally everything that that I had. Obviously, if you guys have questions that come up later, you've got Dana's contact information, or you can email me, VP of Collegiate Affairs at phisagro.org. And then obviously, just leave session feedback. There's space for more questions and comments in there. And, obviously I can pass that on to whoever needs it. I think that's everything. Oh, just my last plug. If your chapter does not have a faculty advisor, or if your chapter does not have an alumni advisor, please let Dana know now. Or if you have one of those and you don't really like them, or they don't respond to your emails, you're having issues, also let Dana know. She can help you, especially with the faculty advisor part. Mary Beth can help a little bit more with the alumni advisor part if you want to reach out to her directly with questions. But we just want to make sure that chapters have all of the resources available to them, and those two advisory positions are part of that. So that's everything from me. I guess Mary Beth or Dana, do you guys have any last minute things to add?
No.
Nope.
Letting us join your call.
Awesome. Dana, any last words from you? Okay. All right. So yeah, that's everything.
Here, just be on the lookout from email.
Emails, yeah. I guess that's my other thing. I'm gonna get on my soapbox here for a minute. So from Dana's slides, you saw she's got a full-time job, she's got hobbies, she's got a life. And if she's gonna take the time out of her schedule to make sure that you guys have important information, try to schedule these meetings and meet with me and follow up on stuff, please give her the same courtesy back of responding to her emails or to her text or whatever, even if it's just a quick, this week is awful, I'll get to it this weekend. You know, just to let her know that her messages are getting through. So just please give her that, that respect. Yeah, and other than that, I think that's everything. So just please fill out the survey form. And it was great to see all of you, to meet everybody. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys hopping on the call and being a part of the West 3 region. It's awesome. So that's everything from us. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Bye.